friends. Welcome to episode number 97 of It'll Be Fine, I think. Oh man, so much is going on in the world right now. Had to reshoot the opening for this show, but you wouldn't have known that unless I had told you. But I felt like I needed to be honest because we're friends. You come in the kitchen every week. I'm very glad you are here today. Today's episode is going to be fun. We're going to add a little bit of joy to your social media feed today, I hope. And by the way, we shot this episode about a week and a half ago. So the stuff that's happened since January 1st hadn't happened yet. So I didn't know, nor did my guest. My guest today is the very funny and the very talented comedian, Prateek Srivastava. Prateek is coming to us from his home in Chicago, and at the time we filmed this, and again right now, this dude has the #1 comedy album on the charts. So go grab it. It is called Nick and Sheila's Kid, and it is fucking awesome. So do yourself a favor and grab a copy, and then go bake what we're baking today. Yeah, we've got a little no bake today happening. Wasn't really much to it, but oh, it's delish. It's delish. Oh, we are making chocolate peanut butter bars. Yeah, we are deciding to take the bold move in 2021 of combining chocolate and peanut butter. No one's done it yet, but they should. It's very good. It's very good. And on today's show, we are offering love, offering attention to the very good people at the Sunnybrook Foundation. Sunnybrook Hospital here in Toronto, as I said the other day, very, very close to my heart. They take good care of me with regards to some stuff that I have to deal with. You may not know this, but you know how you get little melanoma spots on the skin? You can get that on your eye. So they're just watching out for me. It's not very funny. It's just facts. Sometimes you just get facts, So if you can support them today, please do. Info is in the show description. So friends, get ready. We're going to make it as fun as we can.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
Alrighty, so here is what you're going to need for this recipe. It calls for the base for graham crackers. I don't have those, but if you are like me and you have a box of Belgian biscuits or any kind of cookie mix that you found at the store during the holidays, just crush them up. We're gonna get these a little more pulverized in a second, but I am using that. We are also going to need some melted chocolate. I'm also throwing in whatever little chocolates I have around the house just to add to it. We need powdered sugar for this. You're going to see this is granulated sugar. Just chuck it in your coffee grinder and you will get powdered sugar. We will need some unsalted butter, and we're using peanut butter, but I'm gonna also throw in some tahini for these chocolate peanut butter and tahini cups. And here is a hot tip. When you are doing the chocolate and melting it to get a nice, smooth, crunchy crust, add some coconut oil when you melt it. And we're going to show you in the show how to do that. And you'll get a lovely crust to your chocolate that will crack and snap and be delish. Congrats are in order. You've got like a #1 comedy album right now.
Oh, thank you.
Fucking cool.
Yeah, we debuted at #1. It was, it was we were a little, because John Mulaney had been in the news and his album was tracking. So, my best wishes to him. But it was nice to debut at #1 on both iTunes and the Amazon bestseller list, and it stayed there for like the full day too. So that was really cool on both platforms. With the holidays and everything, and people really buying things. I'm blessed that so many people were on board with this project. It was a year in the making.
I will. I just had it on my phone, but of course it just. I got it. That's an ad for Pepsi. I got it on my phone, bud.
I'm glad you got it. Thank you, Kelly.
I didn't just do that for this show.
Yeah.
Because you're funny. So I got your album.
This ain't some synergy like, hey, product tie-in for the show. No, none of that. This is voluntary corporate synergy.
What, sir, were you doing in 1997?
In 1997, what was I doing? I think I was watching the Chicago Bulls pretty much. That's all I did in 1997. Wearing Bulls red or Christmas red, whatever you want to call it, for that. And yeah, then they had that documentary that came out this year too. So it's been a nice little like trip down memory lane.
Oh my gosh, that series. I'm not a binge watcher. Like, I think it's just because of how I grew up. I'll wait a week. I'll watch another episode. I take my time. So I recently finished The Last Dance, and I was looking at that footage with like eagle eyes to see if maybe myself or my family were in any scenes, because when I was a kid, back from like 92 to maybe 97, my parents actively took us out of school to be like, we have to take our kids to Chicago. We're going to go see Michael Jordan play. So,
Oh wow.
yeah, we
Family trips and specifically for the Bulls. I mean, that's
specifically
great.
for the Bulls. Yeah, we drove from Toronto to Chicago numerous times in the 90s to watch that. So in some of those scenes, we are in the nosebleeds. We are there.
My family, we were blessed that we were able to go to some of those games as well, and we actually had some seats. We would never sit behind the Bulls. We'd always sit behind the visitors' seats. So it was a good time. Those 96 that second three-peat, 96 to 98, we got to see a lot of cool games, and it was a lot of fun to be there with the family. And we would always kind of go around December too. So it's kind of, this has been a very like, you know, because I'm also rewatching Last Dance around this time too. So be reminded of the Bulls team from the 90s, to go to those games in December, now rewatching the documentary in December, having the album come out in December. Like, it's a very, my heart is full right now.
No. So I think there is no better thing than to celebrate a #1 comedy album and our approaching 100th episode than by making chocolate peanut butter bars.
Yes.
I can't think of anything better.
Nothing better.
So what we will do first off, this recipe, which is from the website Amanda's Cookin', again, does not say to prepare the pan, but I think we should like butter it or put some parchment. So it's your call, but you want to get either a 13x9. I've got an 11x7. Do some parchment in it so that when we pull this bar out after we cut it, it's not locked into the pan. So
for sure,
use your judgment what you want to do. I'm going to butter and parchment. I'm going to do both. You could do, if you have like a cupcake or a muffin tray, you could make chocolate peanut butter cups. I'll call them like, you know, Mises pieces or that kind of thing. Whatever you want. All right, so that's step one. Step two is to take either graham crackers or vanilla wafers. For me, I was gifted a box of an assortment of cookies the other day. So I'm just cutting up this box of like Belgian cookies, and this is going to be our base. So.
Yeah, we are using graham crackers from good people at Honey Grams.
Nice. Nice.
We used to eat those pecan sandies.
We don't have those in Canada. What is that?
It's like a wafer cookie, but it has like pecans on it.
Ooh.
I think Keebler put it out, but yeah, it was like a Keebler branded pecan sandy like cookie. Yeah, I used to eat those.
That sounds good. Oh man, sounds delish. Now this episode,
I've eaten them for like, there would be times like for breakfast when I was like lazy, so I would just eat like a banana and then like two of these.
Well, you can convince yourself that it's nuts, so it's healthy, right? You can convince yourself of anything if you put your mind to it. Doesn't matter. It doesn't. What you want to do with these cookies is just really, really crumble, like super, super crushed up. Try not to make a complete disaster here. And the cool part about today's episode, you don't need the oven. The oven's on
Yeah.
vacation. Yay!
Keeping it simple for Prateek.
Exactly.
Let's just no oven. You don't.
This episode's going to be airing the first week of January, so it's a new year. We don't need the oven yet. It's on vacation. It's in Florida.
My New Year's resolution is to not use as many electronics. So,
Aw.
so this is perfect. We worked it
Okay.
out.
I am not someone who makes resolutions. I pick words to sort of like color or flavor my year. And
Interesting.
my word for 2021 is bold.
Bold. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm going to be bold and just not use the oven.
Bold decision. I'm trying to think what would my word be for 2021. I think I guess if I had to choose one word, it would probably be a pivot. Just sometimes things happen, which is kind of like a little bit. It's something that definitely started, like the seed of pivoting started this year, obviously, but
Exactly.
I think it's something I want to continue into 2021. Is hey, sometimes things don't go as planned, and you have to pivot. And I think we all will have to do a lot of that in the coming year as well.
Definitely. Yeah. I think we've got a few more months of pivoting before we find some balance. But, all right. Then you're going to take those cookies that you're crumbling up and stick them in a bowl. A bowl big enough to put the remaining 4 ingredients in. So let me just grab that.
So it's like the feed that they give out at like petting zoos.
Yes. I will be honest. I've always kind of wanted to try that feed, but I never have.
I'm trying to think if I never had the temptation to eat that type of feed. Mainly just because my parents, which again feeds into the album, shameless plug for the album, but my parents were very just like, don't eat that, don't try that, only eat, like very, very kind of protective of what we eat. Case in point, I remember, I'm sure you remember the movie Kazam starring Shaquille O'Neal.
I know it exists. I've actually never seen it.
It's not as good as The Last Dance. It's a little bit different than that. But he had a movie called where he played a rapping genie. Kelly, he was a rapping genie in this movie, and we were watching it at my cousin's house, and my cousin was eating like pasta, like the hard pasta from the package, like just like that, like he was eating it like chips. And my mom came in and thought I was eating the pasta as well, even though I wasn't. And we had to turn off the movie. So I never found out what happened at the end of that movie. And when I see commercials for it now, when a comic talks about it, because it's just a cult kind of dumb movie that people talk about now, I just think about not eating cold pasta from a package. So.
I think your number one to do for 2021 is to finish the movie.
Finish the movie, yeah.
Your first thing. Second thing, I am a child who used to gnaw on raw pasta.
Oh, you used to?
Yeah, I did it all the time.
Was it?
For the folks at home, this is what my little mixture looks like down here.
Look at that.
And again, I'm using a mix of cookies as my base for our bar. The next thing we are going to add to this is melted butter. If you use the full recipe, you need 2 sticks of unsalted butter. If you batch down like I'm doing, you just need 1 stick, and you're going to pour this in as well.
Yeah.
So this goes in with the cookies. And then the next thing is to do 2 cups of powdered sugar. It also goes by the name icing sugar or caster sugar. It has like 17 names. It's ridiculous. It's so dumb. But you need some of this.
I'm probably going to use a little bit less just because, so my family, we're trying to cut down on our desserts a little bit. So I'm making it a little bit less sweet for them. But I do want that the family eats it.
Absolutely. Folks at home, you can do like stevia or any kind of alternate sugar. And to get that finer grain, all you need to do is put it in like a coffee grinder, and then you'll get more of a powdered texture to it. Just so you know. You don't need to go out looking for icing or powdered or whatever. So it goes in here. And then the final thing we need is peanut butter. The recipe doesn't say what kind. I've got smooth. And I'm also going to tuck in a bit of tahini just to be a bit of a rebel.
Okay. going for bold, right, for 2020.
Exactly. Be bold, you know. And this is all going to go into a mixer, and then we're going to put it in the pan, and we're like 60% done. So this is easy. It's not. It's been pretty wild just to see. Like, I've not done many outdoor shows. I didn't do many this year in 2020, just because where Toronto was at. But it's interesting how some stuff worked great online, did not work well in person. But it's all how we style our delivery when we're doing stuff on Zoom, and we're keeping it more conversational, less movement, and it's
I notice more conversational tends to work too. Yeah. And, if you're on Zoom, like for me, and I think you're kind of the same way too. Like, we want to kind of work in some stories as well into the stand-up as well. And I've found with Zoom, you kind of have to, for outdoor shows, I didn't do too many in this year, tried to play it safe, but I've found with outdoor shows, because there's a lot of outside distractions, whether if it's by the car, traffic, or something like that, you got to kind of work quickly. Sometimes that story may not be able to breathe on Zoom or outside. Whereas if you were indoors at a black box theater, you can let that joke breathe or let that reference. So it's all about for me, I've just found I'm speaking faster on Zoom. And I'm sure you've noticed this when you've seen me on our Zoom shows. I'm speaking like a mile a minute, a lot more frenetic energy.
Interesting. I found with the Zoom stuff, I have slowed down. It's really helped my timing and my intonation, and I've got a bad habit of making myself laugh when I tell my jokes, and I'm working on that.
That's good. I mean, to bring it back to the album, there are a couple times on the album where I laugh if it's something really goofy. I think it's okay I think you don't want to be overly, goofy and giggly with the material. And we both know the line where that can be. But I think sometimes if a comic is having fun and it is kind of going absurd, or for example, somebody reacts a different way, and it's sometimes you have to be human still. And so if there's a laugh or something, I think you got to ride with it sometimes. So I think that's great that you're conscious of it too, but also don't be afraid of the laugh. I think that's important.
Good advice. Alrighty, friends, so here is what this all looks like in the bowl together, and then all we need to do, using a food processor or a mixer or some good old elbow grease, you just want to mix this together until it is smooth as silk. There we go. Frankly, you could just take a spoon and just go to town on what's in the bowl.
Yep.
If you wanted to. All right. There we go there. All right. Now, do you have any coconut oil by any chance?
We do not.
No worries. If at home, for the viewers at home watching, when we get to melting the chocolate, if you want to add just a dash of coconut oil to the melted chocolate, it'll give you that hardness to the chocolate that when you bite in, there'll be an extra little crisp.
Okay.
So just a fun little tip. You don't have to do it, but next time you make it, just add a bit of coconut oil and you'll get that nice little snap. We do some savories. We do some savory dishes on this now and then. But the greatest part about doing this show is that I get to go through all of these recipes that I've thought of doing over the years, but I've just never done, so it's fun. All right. Let's see this. Okay. We want to grab all of this out of the bowl. Now, where are you at in the process?
I'm just heating up the chocolate, and then the peanut butter mixture is ready.
Amazing. So yes, that will be part 2.
And then we got some things when we get to presentation. I got a couple things.
All right. Oh, fancy. Fancy. All right. So before I get to my chocolate melting, I'll just show the people at home what I'm doing. We're just spreading this out into the pan as so. I think so. All right. So as we were doing, For the chocolate, you are going to take the chocolate and the peanut butter and melt it together in your microwave. Now, when you're melting chocolate, my one tip is to do it in increments. Don't do it for like a full 40 seconds. Do it like 15, 15, 10, so you don't burn the chocolate, basically. Unless you like burnt chocolate. And if you do, that's your thing. I used to eat dry pasta as a kid, so
Yes.
I'm not going to judge.
All bets are off.
Exactly. Now, what kind of chocolate are you using for yours?
We are going with a classic Hershey's milk chocolate.
Nice call. I am doing Baker's baking chocolate myself, and I had a few Lindt chocolate balls in the house, so I'm chucking that in too.
Okay, yeah, and that's festive for this time of year. Chocolate balls.
Chocolate balls, exactly. Who doesn't like chocolate balls?
Yeah. I think at the last, because obviously this year didn't really have any Christmas parties or anything, but last year at the Christmas party they did like those cake balls, like chocolate dipped cake balls. Those are always fun.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've had those.
I like me a cake pop. I've never actually made one. That needs to happen on this show.
There you go. I'm glad I can give you more ideas.
Thank you.
The baking never ends.
My doctor will be calling you. All right. Friends, this is a pretty easy treat to make.
Yes.
I'm excited.
Here's hoping I don't screw it up.
Even if you do, the name of the show is It'll Be Fine. So, you know. All right.
This is so good that even if it's still like going to be a sweet, gooey mess, regardless of what you're doing with it.
Completely. All right, so my chocolate is getting there. It's not there yet. And oh, this is nice because these chocolate balls that I used have a bit of hazelnut in them, so it's going to kick this up a little bit. Do you find you've had a certain snack that you've gone to more so than usual during times of quarantine?
Yeah, I've been eating, which I haven't had in a while too much. I used to eat more Cheez-Its as a kid, but I found in quarantine there have been more Cheez-Its being consumed in this homestead, mainly because when you online delivery them, they're great in the bundle. They come like in a huge bundle, like multiple, and the variety pack boxes too. So it's just like, yeah, a lot of that. Too much.
Wow. I ordered for the first time in 2020 alcohol online. I've never done that before.
How was it?
I felt really weird. It was really weird.
What is your drink of choice?
I'm a big fan of bourbon. I am a bourbon girl. I found this spot in Toronto, and the name of the company escapes me, but they were doing a local made cider, and all of the proceeds from the sale of the cider, I think it's called Stock and Row. I think that's the name of the company. But all the proceeds went to out of work restaurant and bar staff.
I think that's great.
I thought that was just wicked. I got a couple of really awesome ciders, and I helped my fellow restaurant folks. So, yay!
You got to have a little alcohol, and you got to get drunk for a good cause. That's always a good thing.
Win-win.
We need more of that. I'm trying not to drink too much in 2020. Trying to keep it clean in 2020, but 2021. I'll definitely be partaking. I like a good Moscow Mule. That's always good to drink. But to speak on ordering alcohol online, I have been controlling the family's Instacart, and I do know there has been, despite me taking my sobriety steps or whatever, this house has still had a healthy amount of alcohol consumption. Case in point, Kelly, there's been a lot of rosé being consumed in 2020. I feel like my family drinks like a bachelorette party in Connecticut. Like it's just it's too much. Like 10 bottles of rosé in one order, Kelly. That's too much rosé.
Now, how much rosé went into making your comedy album?
Not enough. Not enough.
No, I was with TMZ for 3 years.
I always remember the TMZ people, like when Harvey would be sipping on his like fruit smoothie, and then they'd cut to the people in the corner, and like there's a surfer dude, and then the one dude with the dreadlocks.
Yeah, so I was on TMZ Live, their web show, for about 3 years.
Okay.
And that meeting happens at about 6 a.m. out in California. Right after that, my story producer would send me the stories I would then pick to talk about on the show about 9 a.m. and we would film around 3 in the afternoon for the web show. It was pretty fun, I gotta say. I inadvertently went to one of the Jonas Brothers' weddings.
Which one?
The one who married the one from Game of Thrones.
Okay.
I don't know which Jonas brother that is, but it was done in Vegas, and TMZ got the live feed from the church, so we were all watching it. So technically, I went to a Jonas Brothers wedding.
There you go. That's a credit. You can put that on your on your bio for comedy. Hey, attended a Jonas.
My IMDb.
I mean, I know Nick Jonas just because he married Priyanka Chopra, so I'm familiar with him a little bit. But you know,
right?
They did not do a live feed for their wedding.
Was it Joe Jonas? I think that's the one who married Sophie. I don't know.
Fortunately, I don't keep track of.
I don't know. All right, friends. So this is what mine looks like with the coconut and the peanuts. Get a look at that, Prateek. Woohoo!
That looks amazing.
Ta-da.
I'll definitely, when I do this again, I will have to try coconuts.
Yeah. So friends, put this in your fridge for about 1 hour, and then we can cut and tuck into it and have a party. All right. Well, I'm excited. I took a lick of the bowl, and that was delicious enough. And now I'm thinking it's all together. So
yeah,
it's gonna be great. Do you have a slice cut for yourself?
I was gonna cut on camera if you would prefer that.
Yeah, I already went ahead, but you can cut yours on camera.
So I'll do this real quick. I will show you.
What is yours?
Presentation is important, so we put cherries atop a plate. Let me see if I can get it more on camera for you.
If you want, take a photo of that, and then I'll show it at the end of the show too. But oh, you are really going to go all out. Well,
I want to make sure you have enough to edit. Yeah, so look at that.
Yeah.
And then we'll send a photo of the with the slice and all too.
Please do. Yeah. Well, that's what you got to do when you've got a #1 comedy album. You have to play it. You have to play it appropriately. You do.
Presentation is important, Kelly. Presentation is important. Oh, real quick, I want to shout out Chris Santiago did the artwork for the album, and the album was produced by Dave Winnick of St. Dude Productions.
And I have to show, if you've got a comedy album, I have a new apron.
I gotta read it. What does that say?
It says it'll be fine.
It'll be your show apron, your merch. You got merch now.
I have merch now. I didn't wear it for the bake because we weren't really getting messy enough to do it, but I thought I'd show it off for this.
3 pieces for comedy rule of 3.
Please do, yeah.
On the plate, and then I will lower the camera. I'll try to make my face.
Yeah. No, that'd be
now I'll lower the camera so that you guys can see y'all can see the concoction at home.
Yeah, I will. I'll show what the. I just cut a slice out, but here is my final thing.
That looks good. That looks delicious.
Beautiful. Yeah.
Okay, and
let's see what this looks like, bud. Oh, that looks good. Dang. Shall we tuck in and try this?
Yes.
Our peanut butter, our chocolate peanut butter bars. No one's ever put these two things together, so we're ahead of the curve.
we're making bold moves and a pivoting new year with some peanut butter chocolate and cherry.
Right. Bon appetit.
Bon appetit, Kelly. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mm.
I'm gonna cry. It's so good.
It's too good. I'm telling you, it's all those flavors pivoting and bold flavors too. It's all coming together perfectly. Oh my God. Too good.
I have tears in my eyes.
I feel like a Hallelujah chorus needs to start playing right now.
This is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay.
So good.
Oh man, you made me cry, bud.
That's what we're here to do. We're here to make people laugh and cry and maybe get diabetes, but not too much.
No, not just all. Fuck, this is good.
This is good.
Oh man, it is just, and I added just a hint of tahini to mine
Yes.
to make it a
And
little
you're
different.
feeling that tahini kick, right?
Oh, this is creamy and crunchy and sweet and salty and everything you need. This is everything you need. Oh man. Well, thank you for joining me today for this.
You are welcome. This was good. We got to do a little baking, kind of ring in the new year. Again, holidays, baking. You got to have a baking scarf. I think you have an apron. I wore a holiday scarf for this.
Nice. We're fashionable.
You gotta look good when you're mixing ingredients.
It'll be fine.